gonna beat you, I'm gonna make you call me pretty. I'm gonna beat you.
Whoa, perfect timing.
This is what happens when the most perfect fighter in boxing history decides to destroy anyone who dares to test him. 50-0 undefeated record and a defense so tight that world champions could barely land 16% of their punches against this untouchable destroyer. Anyone who stepped into that ring talking trash to Mayweather should have brought their own ambulance, because no one has ever survived when this American master decided to break them down. But before he became the global superstar known as Money, it was Pretty Boy, a young knockout machine carving his name into boxing history. Welcome to Punch Klub. Fellas, here we go. The Pretty Boy Destroyer. Mayweather turned professional in 1996 and immediately became a knockout machine. He built a 20-0 record with 17 brutal finishes that had the boxing world taking notice. People thought he was just another prospect, but he proved them dead wrong. When Alberto Apodaca stepped into the ring for his professional debut, he got destroyed by a vicious liver shot in round 1. Apodaca dropped to his knees, gasping for air, but survived to round 2. Big mistake. Mayweather came back and landed another crushing body shot that left his opponent rolling around in pure agony. Against Edgar Ayala, he unleashed a counter left hook so perfect it lifted his opponent clean off his feet. Ayala hit the canvas flat on his back with no chance of getting up. Tony Duran lasted just 1 minute. A perfectly timed straight right hand had him walking sideways across the ring like he was drunk. The knockouts were so brutal that HBO immediately wanted him in bigger fights. Just when people thought they had him figured out, a painful twist changed his entire style and made him even harder to beat. The hand injury that changed everything. In 2001, during his fight with Carlos Hernandez, something happened that would make Mayweather even more dangerous. He landed a hard left hook in round 6, but felt terrible pain shoot through his hand. The injury was so bad that he dropped to one knee, the only knockdown of his entire career, even though he was never hit.
Right here, see?
Right over here you can see there's no knuckle.
There's no knuckle right here.
Right here.
There's no knuckle right here.
His hands were breaking down from throwing so much power. Most fighters would have been finished, but this injury forced him to become something even deadlier. A defensive master who couldn't be touched. Pretty Boy was dead. By 2007, the new Money Mayweather was born. And when Ricky Hatton came storming in with trash talk and an undefeated record, the lesson was brutal.
I think you saw more action in these 4 rounds than you saw the value for Money in Floyd's whole career. I'll just leave it at that.
Hatton gets sent to sleep. British warrior Ricky Hatton came to Las Vegas in December 2007 talking massive trash.
Keep telling us, you know, I'm the best, I'm this, I beat him. We know Floyd, change the record.
He was undefeated and thought his pressure would break Mayweather. He was about to get a reality check. In round 1, Hatton actually caught him with a solid left hook that rocked the crowd.
The crowd, or at least as long as Hatton is functionally in the fight.
See, that's again that foot speed faster than he wants to.
But that just woke up the beast inside. Round after round, Mayweather picked Hatton apart. His defense was so perfect that the Brit was swinging at air. Then, in round 10, Hatton made his final mistake. As he charged forward with his head down, Mayweather threw the check hook. Hatton walked right into a devastating left hand that sent him crashing head first into the turnbuckle. He hit the canvas completely unconscious. The referee didn't even count. Hatton was out cold, and Mayweather had delivered one of boxing's most perfect knockouts. After knocking Hatton out cold, Mayweather set his sights on the sport's golden boy, Oscar De La Hoya. And this was the night boxing found its new king. De La Hoya gets schooled. The golden boy Oscar De La Hoya thought his size and power would overwhelm Mayweather in May 2007. This fight generated $136 million and made him boxing's biggest star. De La Hoya came out throwing bombs in the early rounds, trying to end it quickly. For a few rounds, it looked competitive, but Mayweather's conditioning and ring smarts started showing up. He began landing crisp jabs at will while making Oscar miss badly. His right hand started finding home repeatedly. By the later rounds, he was completely outclassing the legend. The stats told the story. Mayweather landed 43% of his shots, while De La Hoya only connected on 21%. But not every night was easy. When Shane Mosley landed bombs in round 2, the whole world thought the unthinkable might finally happen. Mosley's power meets perfection. Shane Mosley brought serious knockout power into their May 2010 fight. In round 2, he proved why he was dangerous by landing 2 thunderous right hands that rocked Mayweather badly. His legs buckled and he had to grab Mosley to stay upright. The crowd went crazy, thinking they might see the upset of the century. But Mayweather's heart and boxing skills saved him. He survived the storm, then dominated the next 10 rounds with beautiful boxing. His jab was working perfectly, and his right-hand counters kept Mosley honest. Even after getting hurt, he found a way to win convincingly. That's what separates good fighters from great ones. If Mosley gave him a scare, Miguel Cotto gave him a war. This was the fight that pushed Mayweather deeper than ever before. Cotto brings the war. Puerto Rican warrior Miguel Cotto provided the roughest test in May 2012. He had the perfect game plan: cut off the ring and rough up the defensive master. For 12 rounds, Cotto made him work harder than ever before. He actually managed to bloody his nose with hard shots inside. Round 8 was pure fireworks, with Cotto landing combinations while Mayweather fired back with sharp uppercuts and hooks. But his superior conditioning won the day. Even in the toughest fight of his career, he found ways to win the important rounds. His jab kept working, and his footwork kept him out of serious trouble. Another legend had been conquered. But for every test, there was a lesson. And when young superstar Canelo Alvarez stepped up, he walked straight into a boxing masterclass. Canelo gets a masterclass. 23-year-old Mexican star Canelo Alvarez thought youth would beat experience in September 2013. At 36 years old, many thought Mayweather was done. Instead, he put on a boxing clinic that frustrated Canelo for 12 rounds. His ring intelligence completely neutralized the young lion's power and aggression. Every time Canelo threw, Mayweather was already gone. His left hook counters were landing clean, and his jab was picking the Mexican apart. Canelo later admitted, "I couldn't catch him. He was very elusive. In the later rounds, I felt frustrated." Age meant nothing when you had this level of skill. Of course, the fight the whole world wanted was Manny Pacquiao. When it finally happened, it wasn't chaos, it was a clinic. The Pacquiao finale. The biggest fight in boxing history finally happened in May 2015 when he faced Manny Pacquiao. This fight generated over $600 million worldwide. While some fans wanted more action, Mayweather's boxing mastery was on full display. He controlled Pacquiao's speed and aggression with perfect positioning and consistent jabbing. His right hand was landing clean throughout the fight. Every time Pacquiao rushed in, he was met with sharp counters. The left hook was working beautifully too. For 12 rounds, he controlled the pace and won a clear decision. The debate about who was better was finally settled, perfect to the end. His final fight against Conor McGregor in 2017 showed he still had magic at 40 years old. After carrying the MMA star for 9 rounds, he turned on the heat. In round 10, his combination started breaking McGregor down. A beautiful uppercut stunned the Irishman, then a series of shots had him in trouble. The referee stepped in to save McGregor from more punishment. 50-0, perfect in every way. He had conquered 5 weight classes and never tasted defeat. From pretty boy to Money Mayweather, from knockout artist to defensive genius. The story ends with one word: perfection. Mayweather wasn't just undefeated, he was untouchable. He retired 50-0, beating 24 world champions while making them swing at air. On average, his opponents landed only 16% of their shots against his legendary defense. From the shoulder roll to the check hook, he turned defense into an art. From Olympic robbery to an undefeated career, his story proves what talent, discipline, and obsession can create. So, the question is, who really could have beaten him? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell. This is Punch Klub, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.